Okay guys, welcome to another episode of Operators Operating Operationally. Today I'm out here at Operation Copperhead for part 3 of my series. I'm going to be trying a new format where I kind of go over everything piece by piece as the video plays. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So in the beginning, I try and rush forward as fast as possible to kind of gain as much ground as possible in the day and move up and secure a building for friendly forces to move to. The gun I'm using today is my Mark 18 Toki Marui. I have a mock suppressor, a PEC box, and a T1, and I'm using an HK style stock on it. So as I'm moving into the building, I'm trying to slice a pie, and then I realize there's two enemies stacking up on each other. Usually that makes it a little bit harder target, so I'm trying to take my time and slice the pie right here and try and take out the rest of the enemies. But it kind of doesn't work out when my wall that I was using to slice the pie kind of got pushed out of the way by a chair. And now friendlies are starting to move into the building, and they shot a rocket to clear it out. And of course you can see here, I'm being used as a human mop, being dragged and trying to get medicked back up. At American Milsim, of course, there is a medic rules. You use real bandages, and it has to be 2 feet in length to meet requirements to be used as a medic bandage, and it cannot be red, of course. And you can be medic twice, so that means you have basically 3 lives, and then you have to go back to respawn. And the bleed out is 5 minutes long. Right here, now I'm back up. I'm trying to make my way along the same flank I was doing. It's like the left side, left middle of the field, and I'm going to try and keep pushing forward to clear as much land out as possible and move up onto their objective to stop their main respawn point. Earlier on my footage I killed these 2 enemies. I didn't really pick up that well on my footage, so I did not add it in where it said hit and whatnot. So if you can see right here, there's 2 KI enemies, and I'm trying to check out to make sure there's any more enemies in the area before I move up and check them for intel and kill cards. If you're not used to kill cards, what they are is you get 1 in the beginning of the match. They're like little playing cards, and you try and collect them from the enemy. The enemy can only give you 1 each time they die, and you only get 1 at registration. So at the end of the match, you kind of tally it up. This guy here ran out and thought no one saw him get hit, so he tried to not call it there. But of course, I was right next to him. I'm watching this door here, trying to make sure no one else comes out while I secure this, and then a friendly, of course, pops around the corner and friendly fires me. And of course, at American Milsim, friendly fire does count, and I of course called my hit there. And now a friendly player is trying to drag me back to a medic, of course, and get me back into the fight.
Bam! Over here!
One thing you guys need to remember as a player out on the field, it's always a good idea to drag back wounded friendlies to a medic or a safe position where a medic can get to them. That's one of the main things I see every time I play, is there's a bunch of dead people out in the middle of the open when friendlies can be pulling them back and helping the medic out. So now we have kind of cleared out this flank, and we're going to start pushing into the middle of this big open field to secure a sort of like a conquest point to stop their reinforcements from this area. And of course you can see here I captured the flag, and now I'm going to try and secure as best as possible until friendlies show up. Now the enemy is starting to make kind of like a horseshoe around our position, so we start taking a little bit heavier fire, and I decide to move out and kind of flank the enemy.
Oh, watch out, grenade!
We were very lucky that we moved out of that area when we did, because a grenade just a couple seconds earlier flew into that objective and blew up.
Hey, guys!
Right here I'm telling friendlies that a enemy squad is now trying to amass numbers and push into their building. So I decided to start pushing up onto that left building that was in front of the objective and kind of secure that as a strong point so the enemies can't flank onto our guys on the right building.
Green over here. Oop, run.
I just got taken out by the guy that I killed earlier by the bush. He didn't seem to call his hits there, but I'm going to wait my bleed out and head back to respawn. Now that I'm back at respawn, I'm going to start making a right side push to kind of move down that streetway that I was fighting on earlier and kind of pinch the enemy in one location. Today it was very windy out in New Mexico, and it made it very hard to hit longer range targets because of course the BBs were waving back and forth and not making their mark. Of course, last night the American Milsim tent nearly blew away, if that's any example to you for some wind. Right here I pull off a good 4-man kill, and I'm in such a really good position here. I have very good sight lines on my left and right side, and I have very good concealment, so players keep moving back and forth. And see here, I just got another double kill and took out a couple more enemies. Right here I'm still trying to push back the enemies, advancing movements to my left and right buildings, and then finally I take out Jet up on the roof. And now, since they have no more roof cover fire, I'm now going to try and move in to their position and kind of wipe them out and secure a building for friendlies to move up to. I do finally get taken out from the right side from the buildings I was shooting earlier, but I hope you guys all enjoyed this video and keep up the operating.
No!